Music Matters. Today here with Saint and Tito Bandito. How you guys feeling?
Feeling good, man. It's a
Doing
beautiful
good, bro.
day.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me.
Right on, right on.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for fitting me in the schedule today. I know you guys got a busy day.
I know.
Yeah, low key.
Playing a show tonight, right?
Yeah.
Where's it at?
Mottos. It's SF down on Valencia.
Yep.
Yeah, I've never been to Amados. Have you played there before?
I think it's I've never been there, but I think it's a new spot.
I feel like I've heard
Nah,
I've heard the name.
Really?
It's been around, but yeah, I've been to a few shows there. Like my homies, they they're musicians in SF and they're like in the, the music scene and stuff. So they did a lot of shows there. Shout out to Fabrizio, Adam, all the homies. I've seen them play there a lot of times. It's cool because it's like a bar. And they got like a little stage underneath. It's pretty sick, bro.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I like bars like that. I played a show at Golden Bowl last night with Carly Marie. Shout out her.
Where's that?
That's in Oakland, and it seems like it's the same kind of thing. Well, no, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I have heard of Amados because the homie Isaiah, shout out Isaiah, he told me he booked a show there. That's the spot that has like an underground type place, right? Like it's almost like an underground stage.
Yeah. So like
Downstairs?
It's like
the
downstairs,
bar,
right?
Yeah, the bar is like the level, like street level, and then you go downstairs, and then there's like another bar, and then that's where the stage is.
There's two bars?
Yeah, there's two bars, but the main bar is like, on the street level right here. That's the main bar, and then you go down, it's like a little mini bar.
Oh, that's so cool. It's like a
Yeah.
speakeasy almost.
Yeah, low-key. Yeah.
You
That
go
place is cool.
downstairs and there's the music.
Yeah.
Damn. Like I've talked to like hella OGs, and I'm like, oh, I'm playing at Mottos, and they're like, where is that? And I'm like, dude,
It's right next to Senior
I
Assistant.
don't know. So that's why I thought it was a new spot.
Do you guys have like a favorite venue you've played in SF?
Ooh.
This is my first show.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Are you nervous?
Not really. I'm just like, I just want to do it.
Yeah.
I was born
like,
for this, bro.
Yeah, I love performing.
So
It's
you
really
never
fun.
performed any of your tracks?
No.
That's got to be exciting. Do you have like one specific song that you're like more excited to perform than another one?
Yeah, honestly, we were just in LA and are recording like some new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this song that we just recorded. It's called Mood Swings, and I'm gonna like play it for like the last song on the set. It's
Oh,
really
that's
dope.
going to be sick.
Yeah.
Crazy.
How many songs are your set?
I have about 9 songs.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Is it just you on the bill or other people?
It's 3 people on the bill. Tito's gonna be opening, and then we have this artist named PJ. He's gonna be like in the middle,
Sick.
and then I'm last. So.
Oh, hell yeah. Headlining
Yeah.
your first show? That's
Yo,
sick. Good
I
for
know.
you. I'm
Thank
happy
you,
for
bro.
you.
Thank you, man.
So you guys are both San Francisco area, Bay Area natives, but now
Yeah.
neither of you guys live here, right?
Yeah.
What was it like moving across? Because I know saying you're in New York now, right?
Yeah.
And then Tito, you're in LA.
Mm-hmm.
How do those places compare to the Bay? Like, how was the transition like?
Man, it's New York. I feel like New York and LA kind of have this similar vibe of like there's something here. I feel like.
Oh. In that aspect, yeah. I agree.
What do you mean by something here? Just like a lot of culture and music?
A lot of just like things going on in general. Not even just like music and art. It's just like business. Like
Yeah.
there's like a lot of things. I feel like in New York it's like the hustle and bustle,
Uh-huh.
and in the Bay it's like the hustle and bustle is like low key. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I could see that.
Yeah.
When I'm in LA, it doesn't feel like the Bay, but I would imagine, I almost feel like New York probably is more similar to the Bay than LA in a lot of weird ways, because it seems like it might have the same, you don't think so?
No, I'm kind of like agreeing with you.
Oh,
Even though
okay.
I'm going like that with my head. No, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, I agree.
No.
What's LA been like?
Dude, it's been honestly crazy because I just moved there like February, like the middle of February. And it's definitely different, bro. It's like I don't really know anybody yet, so I'm just kind of like out there on my low.
Yeah.
I have like 2 homies, but my one homie Matt Horton, shout out to Matt Horton.
Shout out, Matt.
He was
Let's
on the
get it.
Dua Lipa tour.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so he was playing with Caroline Polachek.
That's so awesome.
Playing
I love
guitar for
Caroline
her.
Polachek,
Yeah,
bro.
she's
She's a
crazy.
crazy player.
Yeah, bro. So I was living at his spot that he was staying at, and then I got another homie, Forrest. Shout out Forrest Nolan.
You know Forrest Nolan?
That's my. Bro, I was in a band with him for like hella
What?
years in high school at Soda.
That's
Yeah.
the boy.
We all went. You interviewed him?
No, I just know him. I know him through Lance Redeker, if you know who that is.
Oh
Who's
yeah,
that?
Lance Redeker.
That's like my best friend. He's a musician out in the East Bay.
Oh,
But
interesting.
yeah, that's how I met. I met Forrest in LA, or I met him in LA like
Yeah, 'cause he lives there.
over the summer, and then I just saw him when I was in LA like a month ago.
That's insane.
Yeah, his brother too is really cool.
Oh, his brother that performs with him.
Yeah,
bro. It's crazy, bro. Because I've been knowing him for like hella long. Because I was in this band called Fowler, in high school.
Oh, whoa.
We all were at Soda. We all went to School of the Arts together over in Glen Park, like I was telling you earlier. Brittany went to that same school too.
We all went to the same. We were all like in different departments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? So is that how you guys all met?
Yeah.
So you've been working together since high school?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's so weird to me how tapped in the Bay Area music scene is, dude. Because this is not the first time where I've interviewed somebody and they brought somebody's name up, and I'm like, oh, I know that person. Like, it's weird. Everything's like a weird connected circle. Do you feel like LA is like that at all? Or I would imagine it's bigger. It's different.
I mean, I'll tell you in like a few years, bro. I mean,
You're fresh.
I'm fresh, bro. I'm like fresh. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like fresh.
What was your reasoning for moving down there?
Dude, just
for music?
I honestly felt like I really outgrew the Bay Area, to be honest. Like, I do miss certain aspects of it, but it's like, I just feel like it was kind of a lot of the same shit over and over again. And it was like, it's hella small.
Yeah.
It's very small. Cycle. And, I just started to feel like a cycle. And I started meeting like cousins of people that I've been knowing. And it was just like, bro, like, why am I meeting like my one homie's cousin now?
Yeah.
It's like,
cousins,
you know what I mean? It's like everyone's cousin is here too. It's just like, I'm just meeting the same people too. You know what I mean? It was just, it was just too much. It felt like Groundhog Day. So I was just, wanted to start a new life. And also, I just feel like obviously there's way more kind of like music opportunities out there. People like Forrest going crazy.
Yeah, he's killing it.
Because he moved out there and he's doing his music. His music's fire.
Yeah, hella good.
And he was living out in Echo Park. So yeah, and like Matt, it just seemed like all the homies that went to LA are doing crazy moves. So I was like, let me just do that. I feel like that's the next step. So yeah, bro, just like moved out there. Yeah, it's been pretty smooth.
Yeah, the way that I think about like the LA compared to the Bay, there's like two main reasons why I like rationalize myself wanting to move there. It's like the first one comes from my guy Spencer. He's in Carpool Tunnel, a band. They're dope. But he the way he described this to me, it made a lot of sense. He was like, when you live in the Bay opposed to LA, you kind of minimize the I'm running into this person by chance factor.
Yes.
When that doesn't really happen in the Bay. Whereas like if you're in LA, you could be at the grocery store and meet somebody that you could work with. Because it's just like, it's a city of immigrants. It's a city of people who come from other places and most of them go to pursue music. So it's like, you minimize that factor when you live in the Bay. And then the second reason is like for what I'm doing more specifically, I think like, think about it this way, right? If you move to LA from the Bay or from anywhere else, anywhere across the country, there is like a implied level of seriousness that you give your music because you were willing to move across the country to pursue it. Whereas like in the Bay, most people I interview are from the Bay. They didn't move to the Bay. So it's like there is a lot. This isn't any knock any artists I interview. That's not what I mean at all. But there are a lot that I don't think. I just think more people, honestly, I just think more people in LA take their music more seriously than they do in the Bay.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
not a knock at the Bay because there's plenty of artists here that take it seriously. And I think entertainment's starting to like decentralize itself, honestly. I could see in 10 years the Bay being the new LA.
True.
I mean, with all the, online concerts that they were doing. Remember during COVID, how everybody was doing those, like, Travis Scott was doing that Fortnite concert? Bro.
People throwing shows in Minecraft and stuff.
Exactly. No, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like,
meta.
Meta. Yeah, bro. Like, I feel like, you might have a point there, but,
I believe it.
You're totally right about how, like, if being there, it's like people assume that you're, like, at a certain level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to see, like, some trash fucking like artists out
unless
there
they're
for
from
the most
there.
part.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm just being
shot.
Like, I'm just being real. Like everybody out there is pretty fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That I've met. People like I lived with this dude who like sang for Anderson .Paak and like and this other dude who's like producing. Bro, you remember Fred from YouTube?
Yes, dude.
My homie who I lived with produces for Fred.
Fred makes music?
He makes music. That's sick.
Does he use the weird squeaky voice?
No, he doesn't. He makes like a hyperpop now.
You're lying.
No, I'm not lying.
Look
it up. Look it
You're
up.
telling me Fred makes hyperpop music?
Yes, but it goes by his actual name, his government name.
What's his government name?
Dang, you're gonna say his government name right now.
Say the government.
No.
No. You just look it up. You'll find it.
All right, bro. I'm gonna bump Fred on the way home.
Yes, sir.
I don't even know who Fred is.
Really?
Really?
No, I don't.
The high pitched guy?
Ah.
You at some point you've definitely seen like one of his videos. He was like popping on YouTube in like 2012.
Oh, that guy?
He was the kid who would freak
he had the
out
Bieber
and
hair
like
yeah, he's like
Bieber.
blonde.
Yeah.
yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
Dang,
Shane
shout out
Dawson
Fred.
era.
Dude, that was a whole different era of
Yeah.
YouTube. You
That
know what
was
I was
like-
super into back then? Do you guys remember McJuggernuggets? You know who that is?
Whoa,
Ooh, that sounds
no.
familiar.
It was this guy, right? And it was just like another vlogger, like I think like a Fred type thing, like very much like a out of the box character type guy. But he made these vlogs, right? And it was all like the implied like reality was that it was real. Like nobody thought it was fake, but like the vlogs just so we did this for like 5 years. The vlogs just progressively got crazier and crazier with his like family conflicts. Like there'd be
Whoa.
videos of his dad like taking his video games and like smashing them because he wanted his son to get like a real job.
Oh my god.
And his son wanted to be like a streamer. So like he just smashed all his stuff, and it was like the videos just progressively got crazier and crazier and crazier. But he never said they were fake. But it was like this guy turned like his vlogs into like a movie almost. Like it was crazy. Like dude, the amount probably 500, 300, 400 like vlogs later, it like grew to like a story, and it was like every vlog was like an episode of the story. But he was never like, okay, I'm gonna start making this. It just like happened.
Yeah.
So it was like it felt like you were it was like the most realistic vlog like I've ever seen. But then at the end, like he came out and said it was all fake,
Oh
which was
my God.
but it was really cool because like the way he did it, he was like, yeah, I just wanted to like tell a story.
Yeah.
And it was like
did.
nobody was like mad. Like
Real
nobody was
art
mad.
shit. Yeah.
Dude, I feel like I know what videos you're talking about.
You definitely do. They're all titled like Psycho Dad breaks like video
Whoa.
games, or Psycho Dad
I
like
can
runs
imagine
over.
the thumbnail right now.
Yeah.
On
Like, the
Christmas
dad is
Day
like,
type shit.
Yeah, no, I think there's definitely one on Christmas Day.
Yeah,
on
damn,
Christmas Day.
throwback.
The
I was-
last one was like McJuggernuggets escapes the country, and then he like
my gosh.
he like beat his dad up and like fled to like Sweden or something, and
Bro.
then like it was like revealed that it was all fake. It's really deep and sad, but it was like he was in a hotel room and he was telling the camera he was gonna like kill himself.
Oh no.
Yeah, really.
Whoa,
yeah,
that's
and then
not, like you shouldn't joke about
no,
that.
I
bro.
agree, but then like
But at that time, bro, people were
yeah,
talking
for
crazy.
sure. But then
All
like
for views.
People would say
yeah,
anything on YouTube back then.
and then the camera pans and you see his like dad behind him, and then his dad comes up and they share like a big hug, and then the rest of his family comes out, they give like a big hug, and then it's like an emotional ending to it, but it's like
Bro.
it's just a different genre of YouTube.
That's like real
Whoa.
satire.
No,
like
it is.
True. Sorry, I'm clipping in the mic.
Oh, you're here.
True satire.
Test it again.
True. There we go.
There we go.
That
Chilling,
should be
chilling,
good. Yeah. All right.
It's mania.
But yeah, bro. Vlogs are crazy, bro.
Did you guys ever vlog? Oh, you were saying you wanted to start vlogging, right? You're saying you wanted to get a camera.
Yeah, I do have a camera, but then I forgot. Like I bought a new SD card and everything, and I forgot the charger at the house.
I can't even tell you how many times I've done that.
Yeah, man. So we've been doing so much stuff that I wish that like, and my phone has no storage anymore.
Yeah,
So it's
That's the
like
worst.
I gotta be on the Snapchat, like saving the videos.
that's the hack.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to like start like vlogging. Like we were recording in New York, and I was just like, I just had the camera on the tripod, and we just kind of got so many great moments of like making a record, and I just want to keep that, but like in my everyday life.
Oh, that's so cool. So you only have singles out right now, right? Are you gonna put the project out?
Ooh, I haven't thought about a project, but right now it's just been singles and maybe a project at the end of the year, maybe.
So you guys said you both grew up like in this area. So this is where you made all your stuff, recording here?
right in that room over here. We're in
True.
my childhood home.
Yeah, we're in Tito's house right now.
Yeah.
So I live in Viz Valley though. So I didn't grow up around here. I grew up kind of like more down the streets.
This Valley?
Yeah.
Where I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's pretty cutty, honestly. It's right on the borderline between Daly City and San Francisco.
Oh, okay. So not too far from here, but
Not too far. Like where the Cow Palace is.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in the little nook in the valley right there.
So like, did you pretty much grow up in a small town, or did you feel like you grew up more in the city?
I would say like when I was growing up, I was in my neighborhood a lot because you don't really kind of like leave your neighborhood, especially when you're like in Viz Valley or if you're like on like in Hunters Point and all that.
Yeah.
And when I went to high school, I was like, wait, there's more to SF. There's like nice houses and just like hella businesses. And
Yeah.
once I went to when I went to high school, that's when I like started exploring San Francisco more.
Where you're from, did people get kind of stuck in that small town mentality and get like stuck? Because I hear a lot about people who like, especially musically, grow up in a small town. They like end up like they watch people around them get stuck there and they never move.
Yeah, I've seen people just like I have this like store near my house, and it's like the same old cats just posted there for like 20 years.
Whoa, that's kind of cool.
Real shit.
Yeah. So then I just always come back, and I'm like, I see the same people every time, and I'm like, man, I can't be doing that.
Yeah.
So that's why I left.
There's like pros and cons to it. Like on one hand, it's cool to have like a bit of a community, but it's like eventually you got to understand there's more. You know what I mean? Like
True.
I was born in Concord, lived in Concord, like East Concord, downtown Concord area. That's like where I grew up. And then I moved to Clayton, which is like a suburb right outside of Concord. And then I moved back to Concord, and now I live like on the border of the two. So I've been like back and forth from Concord to Clayton. But Clayton, I do feel like a lot of my formative years were in Clayton, and Clayton's a very small town. It's kind of like a similar thing. Like a lot of people from the Bay have never even heard of Clayton.
Yeah, I never even heard that shit till right now.
Clayton's the closest town to Mount Diablo.
I don't even know where Mount
Okay.
Oh, really?
is. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like the base of Mount Diablo. So like I grew up like, I wouldn't call it like a mountain town. It's not really a mountain town, but it's like a suburb right below Mount Diablo Regional Park. So it's like that was like what I grew up doing, like hiking and stuff. But it was like I watch a lot of people. Honestly, like I feel like people that are close to our age, they'll get out of high school, just never really go to school or get a job or do anything. They just kind of get stuck in the small town. And it's like parts of Clayton are very wealthy too. So it's like a lot of these kids like grow up with money, and then they like their parents are supporting them. They never really have the kick to go do something because they never really had to.
So they're just like comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
See,
Yeah.
the idle mind is the devil's playground, bro.
Yeah, dude.
You can't, you know what I'm saying? That was one thing I never really I never understood. You know what I mean? How like people can be hella like complacent, especially when it comes to like your craft or something like that. I feel like that's something that I feel like both me and Brittany sets us apart, because I feel like there's always, just like Miles Davis, he always talks about like, he would say like trumpet players, you know, would get to a certain level in their trumpet playing and then get really comfortable and not want to continue in their craft.
Yeah.
Or, you know, whether it be that your career or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, that's a really important factor to, you know, be great and be good at something, is to like keep getting better. You know what I mean? Learning more. There's always, you know, learn the bottom of the iceberg. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
dude.
You really got to get deep in there. You know what I mean? Get cutty with your instrument. Like, you know.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, like being from where I'm from, I see like the same people doing the same thing, but I feel like the reason why I wanted to do what I wanted to do was because I saw people from my city doing and like pursuing their art and having that take them somewhere. And I feel like sometimes people just need that example to be like, oh shit, I can hella do that.
Yeah.
I can hella move out of here, and I can hella move to New York. I can hella move to LA and do music or do my art or do whatever. And I feel like that's
Something you want to be.
that's like why I want to do what I want to do, because there's a lot of like youngins. They're just like, I know you. I'm like, how do you know me?
Oh, that's so cool.
And they're like, oh, my music teacher showed me a video of you when
No
you were in middle
way.
school singing. And I'm just like, damn, all
really?
this. Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's got to be inspiring.
It is inspiring. It kind of reminds me like, oh, it's not just like just this, you know, it's more.
I mean, it's good to know that your stuff is reaching people. You know what I mean? Like you can do something forever. You can do something and you can do it every single day, but it's hard to like really like find the discrepancy regarding like where it's reaching because it's hard. You know what I mean? Like if you put a song out and you see 10,000 streams on it, you don't really know if like, you just don't know where they're from, really. You don't know like
It's just a number.
who's listening. Yeah, it's just a number. It's very arbitrary.
Yeah.
So it's like when you kind of learn like people in your small town where you grew up are listening to you, that's got to be super inspiring.
Yeah.
Especially in the Bay, bro. People in the
For
Bay
sure.
be hella like, you know.
People support each other like crazy. In the
They
Bay.
do.
Yeah, I love it.
They do, but it's also like, there's also like, you're definitely right, but there's also this like bubble mentality. You know what I'm talking about? How it's hella like, I don't know. People aren't super accepting of a lot of different things, but they are super supportive of like their homies' stuff.
I feel like that's
you know?
hip hop.
From a I was
Maybe-
gonna say
maybe that's what I'm.
I feel like that's
you know,
hyphy, the hyphy movement. Like where I'm from,
Yeah.
like they listen to just like, you know, R.I.P. like Lil Ye's and like all like the, you know, the Sunnydale rappers. Like I grew up around like Sunnydale rappers.
Oh, that's where you grew up.
Yeah, I lived on Sunnydale and Lower Street.
Okay, so there's a
Yeah.
lot of music that comes from there.
Yeah, but I like, it's so funny because I'm like, I grew up around like Polynesian people who would like sing like soulful fusion, and that kind of just bled into like me, and now I like sing like, but I sing like indie music. So
Yeah, I was
it's
gonna
weird.
say like a lot of the stuff that comes from like Sunnydale, Hunters Point area, like a lot of that isn't. It's a lot. It's far more like based in Bay Area hip hop than it is like indie music, like the stuff you're making. Why do you think like you gravitated towards that instead of like becoming like a rapper or something?
I think it was like going to high school. I think I was always just like, it was either like hyphy music or like pop music. And then once I went to high school, I started to learn about, because I'm not trained or anything. And so I kind of like was dabbling in my own, trying to find my own music taste. And then in high school, I was in this program called World Music. And then that just kind of like opened up my palette to like Brazilian music, Afro-Cuban music. And I started getting into jazz, and I started actually getting into like hip hop, like MF Doom in high school.
Hell yeah.
And then it kind of just like snowballed. Like I kind of just like started getting into like indie music and like bedroom pop like last year.
And that was just the sound that you found most inspiring and wanted to gravitate towards?
I think it was like, I can do something with this and incorporate all the other inspirations that kind of bleed into like my music.
Because I mean, there's songs that you have that to me, excuse me if I'm genre labeling you. I hate when people do that. But
nah, dude.
But like you have songs to me that sound very like indie pop inspired. Like "Cute" is a very, I think, like an indie pop type song. But then like you have other songs that I find that like tread the line more towards like hip hop. Like I feel like "Cloud Drought," like with the features and everything, that song is definitely more hip hop. Do you like even think about that when you're in the studio or working? Do you even think about like where it lands on a genre scale, or you kind of just make what you like?
I make what I feel. It's kind of crazy. I've kind of always been like that. I'm not trained or anything. So when I would play the ukulele as a kid, I'd just be like, all right, like I'm just gonna sing this the way I want to, and then it ends up sounding not like soul or not just like hip hop. It just sounds like me, I guess.
Sounds like you, yeah.
So then whenever we make music, it's like sometimes like I'll have a chord progression that like recently, like the song that I was talking about, Mood Swings. I wrote that chord progression, and like I didn't even mean for it to be like soulful, you know, like we don't really think about like what genre of music we're making, because we're just like making it in the moment, and it just ends up being like a few different genres.
I feel like that's how it should be, honestly. I feel like that's like it's where the most genuine stuff comes out, you know? It's like you're not worried about like, okay, this is going to be indie, this can get playlisted on indie playlist, or okay, this is going to be melodic rap, this can get like playlisted on like melodic rap playlists. When you stop thinking about that stuff, you kind of just like make what you make what you like, and it's like that's how pioneers are born. You have to make your own lane.
Exactly.
Someone's got to do it.
You're pushing the generation forward
without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
And that's like infinitely valuable to art. Like we need people like that.
Exactly.
It's true.
If you don't have people like that, that's where art dies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Could you ever see yourself like being in a place where you don't make art in like some capacity, like just like art not being your life, or do you think it's like such a staple in your life at this point that you just have to create?
Honestly, like I feel like it's a way of life. Like lately, like in the past few years, I've always thought like, oh, like being an artist is like I have to be singing all the time, or like I have to be making music. When I feel like art is just around me, just like when I'm like standing, or like on the bus, I like look around, I'm like, this house, this building, this car, that's art. That's art of something.
That's beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like later on in life, I really want to dabble into like different revenues. And I really want to get into fashion. I want to get into like design, but I feel like music is where it's going to kind of like bring me to those places.
Yeah, that makes sense. A lot of people do that. A lot of people start with like music and then they branch out and other things. Look at like, or vice versa. Look at his name just gave me the Bape guy that just dropped the album. Nemo. What's his name? He's the guy from Bape. He just dropped a project. Crazy. I didn't even listen to it, but it had a bunch of it had like an ASAP Rocky feature. Dang. Had like Dude Tyler features, or like Rocky's another good example of that. Somebody who like started with music and then went into fashion. Or Tyler, totally. Same thing.
Kanye, everybody.
True.
Kanye, yeah.
I feel like once you're an artist, it's like hard not to create.
Right.
Yeah. So
I could never see myself not creating in some capacity. Like I feel like it keeps me sane.
True.
I feel you.
You have to like put something out. You have to like find an outlet or an avenue to like release whatever you're thinking, be it positive, negative. You have to like have some way to get that out. You know what I mean?
I was just thinking that today. I was like thinking about the interview, and I was like, I feel like we're gonna get on this topic. And then I asked because I interview myself all the time.
Oh, that's so cool. Why do you do that?
I don't know, dude. Like I've been doing that since I was a child. Like sometimes I just got to interview myself to like check up on like myself, and that's
so sick.
Yeah. So doing this right now, I'm just like, damn. Like it's coming true. It's like manifesting.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and I asked myself that question today. I was like, why do you know, like if I wasn't an artist, what I'd be doing? And I'm like, I wouldn't be able to do anything because I need to express myself.
Yeah.
Some way or another, you know.
Some people have to. I'm somebody who I feel like I have to.
Yeah, me too.
Like, cause I think a lot. It's hard for me to turn my mind off. So it's like if I don't have some avenue to then release those thoughts, they get wrapped up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I find that so fascinating that you interview yourself. That's something that I feel like you kind of just gave me an idea. That's something that I think I could like benefit a lot from. It'd probably help my interviewing if I started to interview myself.
It's like, cause like,
it's like a check-in.
yeah, it's a check-in, and I love doing that.
It's like a free form of therapy in yourself.
Exactly.
True.
That's so sick.
Shout out to therapy. Therapy
Shout
does
out
numbers.
BetterHelp.
I was just talking about therapy the other day, dude. I feel like therapy has such a like stigma around it. People think of it as like a place you have to go, but I feel like there would be a lot of progress maybe when we start thinking about it as a place where you like want to go.
Yeah, therapy is
true.
great, bro.
Because you can go to therapy when you're healthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
man.
not for everybody. Always has like, you know, you got to be like crazy to go to therapy or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
no, you don't, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's good to like, you know, get feedback on, you know, the internal dialogue that you got in your mind, you know, and like, you know, this is kind of like we were talking about at the Chucky interview. You know, it's like a lot of people act on their, you know, lack of self-esteem and lack of awareness of self-esteem, and that, you know, that bleeds into everywhere in their life. That bleeds into, you know, their relationships with people. It bleeds into, you know, their projection on their lyrics and their music. It bleeds into, you know, just everything. So, you know, therapy is a really good place to kind of air all that stuff out. You know, you're familiar with like synthesizers, right?
Yeah.
So like think about it like this. I told this to Fabrizio the other day, my homie. Therapy is kind of like in your head.
Can you move back from the mic just a tad? I think you're clipping. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
In your head, you can think of your brain kind of like a polyphonic synth. You know what I mean? Polyphonic. There's multiple keys that you can play.
Yeah.
Right? But when you're talking, it's monophonic. So
Whoa.
that way it's more kind of like in your brain, you got
dude.
all these like keys going on, but in your mouth is one note. It's like a trumpet. Comes out one note at a time. Monophonic. So that way you're kind of like going through your thoughts and saying it out loud, and then you're like, oh, you're kind of sifting through them and kind of making sense of them, you know. And you know, once you kind of say things out loud, certain things aren't so scary anymore.
Whoa.
You know?
Yeah, that's so true, dude.
Yeah.
It's because it's almost like rationalizing your fear. You know, like if you think of like what anxiety is, right? Anxiety is a fear of the future. If you're rarely, at least in my case, I'm not sure if anybody is like this, but
No,
like
you're right.
when I go through something that I was anxious about, like if I was anxious about like meeting somebody, if I was anxious about going to a certain place, once I go to that place or meet that person, I'm not anxious anymore because I've been there. I've done it. So it's like you can't be scared of the future if you've lived the future. So it's like when you say like you put out like a mono stereo like wave into the world, it's almost like you're living your fear, and once you live your fear,
exactly,
you can't be scared of it.
Exactly.
True.
I think a lot about how like I think anxiety is a fear of the future and depression is a fear of the past.
Exactly,
It's like exact opposites.
That's why like in the middle is like being present. I feel like
it's important.
I learned about like my girlfriend is literally like, she's like, why are you stressed? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm just stressed right now. She's like, but like think about the moment right now. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm just sitting here on the couch drinking tea. There's nothing to worry about.
Well, it's a good question. Like I feel like we think of questions like that as so like elementary or so like dumb, but it's like
It's not.
you have to ask yourself those things. You have to say like, okay, how am I doing today? Why do I feel the way I do?
Yeah.
Why am I stressed? You know what I mean? Because you ground yourself. You understand where you are, and then it's like the things in front of you become less daunting.
It's true. Because you're just like, oh yeah, like I'm grounded.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here in the moment. Whatever happens, happens. I'm not worried about the future. I'm not worried about the past because I'm here.
Yeah. It's a
That
beautiful thing.
being present is so important. I that's something I've been trying to. That was one of my New Year's resolutions. It was like to be present, to live where I am right now, because I really do struggle with like looking too far into the future. You know, I'm like and sometimes it's a good thing. Like I feel like I'm a like a 5-year, 10-year plan kind of person, and that's like I feel like that's a positive. But with that comes a lot of like overthinking about things that might not even happen, because you don't know where your road is going to take you. You know what I mean? Like it's really hard to predict like where you're going to be in 5 years, because you don't know what you're going to experience in 5 years and what that's going to make you think.
Yeah, there's this joke in church that says, what is it, Dad? Oh, my dad's asleep. There's
That's
this
an honor.
joke in church that says, you know, we make plans and God laughs.
I like that. I'm not
We
even
don't
religious,
know-
and I
we
like
don't- We
that.
don't know if we're gonna be here tomorrow.
I mean, I live every day every day. I
You
don't know
know.
what the hell is gonna happen tomorrow. That's
Yeah.
what's been like my like motto for the New Year's. I write about in all my new music that I'm releasing. I'm like talking about being the present a lot.
Yeah, because we're in
It's-
purgatory.
And I know it sounds like cliche, but really like living every day like it's your last is so important. I try to like, and I don't even think of it like living today like it's my last. Like I'm not saying be reckless or anything, but I do think that like you should find a way to live your day-to-day life to where like if you died in your sleep that night,
It'd be
you would be
alright.
happy this was your
Yeah.
last day.
Yeah,
Right.
I think
Like-
about that all the time.
Mhm.
Dude. It's crazy. Like right before I go to sleep, I'm like, it would be all right.
Yeah.
No regrets.
Yeah, and it sounds morbid and like scary, but there's a lot of beauty in it. You know what I mean? Like, because everybody's gonna die. You have to like come to grips with the concept of death. And I think the important thing is focusing on like why you'd be okay dying in this moment. You should make every day a okay last day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something I've been trying to do a lot like this year. That's why I think I've been going so hard. It's like I really want to like live every day because it's like I don't know. I could go to school, I could go to work, whatever, but it's like if I can make it work without those things, I'd rather live every day like feeling rewarded at the end of the day. Like I could die today and I'm happy that I did what I did today.
It's
Right.
true. That's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. 2022 is a big year.
No, for real, I feel it.
So you're an
Yeah,
instrumentalist, right? What do you play?
Tyler's more of an instrumentalist. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I am more of like a vocalist. But once I started singing, when I was younger, I was like accompanying myself on the ukulele, kind of just like by ear. And then I recently went to college for like 1 year to learn like music theory for the first time.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to the New School in Manhattan.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
How was theory? Like, cause I just off topic, but theory is a foreign concept to me. It's so hard for me to understand.
Yo, that was me for like majority of my life. And like I was living with Tyler at one point. He would speak in theory to me all the time.
Here's a major seventh. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wouldn't
real.
know. And I would try so hard to understand. And
Yeah.
then once I finally went to college, I had different professors teach me different like methods of trying to learn theory. And I don't know, I'm kind of slow sometimes. So they kind of taught me like different like methods that I could understand.
Like, what's the word mnemonic? What's the word for like it's an acronym, but like you have like a mnemonic. Yeah, mnemonic. So like I think of that's what I think of the notes. It's like Eddie ate dynamite.
Oh,
Goodbye, Eddie.
Yeah.
That's for guitar.
Yeah, for guitar.
Yeah, that's what I say to my students.
Well, the notes are all
Eddie ate
cows. The notes on the bass clef are all
Every
cows
good
eat.
boy deserves
Yeah.
fudge.
Oh yeah, okay.
There's
Every good
so
boy
many.
deserves
I do
fudge, and
all
then there's
cows.
face.
Yeah, all cows eat grass, and then face because faces make spaces.
True.
Cows?
All
Yeah,
cows
all
eat grass.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's how I learned.
ACE.
Is that bass clef?
Yeah,
Oh, that's why. I'm like, yo, what?
that's the
You're like
yeah.
treble thinking.
I'm
That's the
thinking-
lines in the bass
Yeah,
clef.
because I play guitar. Like when I was at Soda, we only read treble
Dang.
clef. So that's why I was like, what are you talking about?
There's no bass clef on the guitar.
No, sir. Only on piano and literally bass.
See,
and-
all the theory I learned was through piano, so I didn't even know there wasn't a bass clef on guitar.
No, it's hella
Interesting.
easy. But drums
Mhm.
are the sheet music for drums. I think is in bass clef.
It is, I think so.
It is.
I don't
yeah.
know. I can't read drum charts.
It's really easy, bro.
Yeah, that's what everybody tells me.
It's really
I've thought about
easy.
just learning, but it's like I don't know. I've never.
You can figure it out. It's just
Yeah.
a lot of the black and white on the page kind of scares people.
Oh yeah.
You know, because it just looks like a lot of notes and they're doing squiggles and I'm scared, but you know, it's not that bad.
I
really.
feel like that didn't even help me when like learn theory. Like what I learned was like scales.
Yeah, that bro, theory literally is
It's
scales.
scales.
That's
Yeah.
literally what I try to explain to like my students. It's like, bro, it's really not. There's only 12 notes in Western.
We overcomplicate
Music.
it. I feel like.
Yeah.
I mean,
once I
you
learned
know.
that, bro, I feel like when you're a kid and you learn that's why I feel like it's so easy to like level up because you're like,
Yeah.
all right, it's skills.
Right.
But as an adult, it's like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
And
brain
then
is
you're
still
like,
forming when you're hella young.
true.
You put all the pieces. Well, think about it this way, right? It's like if you're 25, you've listened to tons of music your whole life, and you've played instruments by ear.
Yeah.
Trying to learn theory is so foreign because
Yeah.
you already have like a predetermined concept of music.
Yeah.
Then it's like rewriting that concept
Yeah.
of music. Whereas like if you're a kid and your first concept of music is like through a theoretical stance, it probably makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I
True.
mean, when you're an adult like that, your ego also like will overcompensate. It's like,
Totally.
I already know this. Like, I know this.
I'd
But
be
it's
lying
like-
if I said mine didn't.
right.
Like it totally does.
Yeah, but I was very blessed and fortunate because my dad was my dad told me to go to guitar lessons, and I learned theory through the guitar lessons.
And there's Sky.
There's Sky.
That's crazy though. I feel like once I kind of learned how to like navigate through scales, that's when my music actually started to get better.
Go crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think there's a lot of benefit that came out of learning theory? So you took a lot from it.
I took a lot from it, but my knowledge is super basic.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like even just like learning that made me go even crazier. Now I can like change key and like be okay with it and not be like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Because that's why I went to college. I was surrounded by someone who knew theory, right? And this was before he was teaching, and he would try to teach me, but I still wouldn't grasp it until I wanted to like learn. It pushed me to like be like, I want to learn this, and I learned it. And it's been many.
Yeah. That's super awesome. A lot of people, I've talked to a lot of people about like going to music school, and it's interesting. Like a lot of people say I learned nothing from it. A lot of people say I learned a ton from it. But I think at the end of the day, I think it is what you make of it.
Exactly.
True.
That's
I was like 5. I was like 5 in college. I was like 21 too, and I had to like go back to being a child, being like, okay, can you say that again?
Yeah.
Like my professor would literally single me out until I would like get it right.
Huh. Do you think that's like an effective way of teaching? Like, did it help you?
I mean, it was like I was in
Or
like a
scary?
private.
It was in a private lesson?
No. It felt like a private lesson.
Oh, okay.
Because in school, I would be that person that wouldn't really get it until like I had like
Too, dude.
tutoring. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just took, new school is a lot of money. And it was like I only had money for 1 year. So then I was like, I'm going to take as much and absorb as much. And yeah, they would hella single me out. But like all the homies were like, it's okay. Saint's just learning. And now I'm like doing my shit.
I don't know why we don't think of college like that more. I don't know why we don't think of like, I don't know why college is like inevitably like only for a degree. Like, why don't we think about like going to school for like a year and learning things if you have the money?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
It's true.
everybody's like, oh, if you're not going to school for 4 years, it's a waste. But like, you can learn a lot in a year.
That is true. I never really thought of it like that.
So many people tried to convince me. I had a teacher be like, you don't belong here. Cause like,
What does that even mean?
Yeah, so I
Not
have
in a negative way though.
no. It was like not a negative way, but
Oh,
the whole time it was like she was giving me a hard ass time, and I'd be like, what am I doing? Like,
yeah.
and then I finally sang. I was like, I didn't do like the last few like assignments, and then like I had to transpose like some shit, and I had to like perform with the band, but I had no sheet music on the day of tech, and I just pulled up, gave them like shitty like sheet music, and I sang, and she was like, you don't belong here, you should go to NYU.
Wow.
And I was like, no, I can't go to NYU, I can't afford it. But
She's kind of shitting on her own school.
I know, she was like trying to recruit me.
Wait,
she knows who I am.
NYU. Why did she
NYU
say that school?
Clive.
Oh, for the Clive Davis?
Yeah,
Oh.
she wanted me to go
Whoa.
there, and I was like, dude,
Yeah, honestly.
I'm only here for a year. But
Didn't
yeah,
Fig go there?
she did. I think for like a program.
Shout out to Fig.
Yeah,
Shout out Fig.
She's doing her thing.
she's a dope.
She's
dope
fire artist.
Shout out Fig.
Yeah.
Go stream Fig.
Yeah, true. Damn, she just finished tour too.
Oh, that's cool. How do you know her?
I went to college with her for a year.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I met a lot of cool cats that are actually doing a lot of big things.
That you still work with or you still talk to?
Yeah, like I see her. I just support her like on IG and
That's
stuff.
awesome.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have said that's like people I've talked to at least. They've said like that was the biggest thing they got from going to school for music. It was like connections.
True.
I almost wish like, cause I go to school for music industry studies. I go to community college, but it's not in person, and none of it's been in person. So it's like I feel like
It's
I cut out the networking idea.
I mean, sometimes when you're going to music college, I feel like you're just always. I didn't really make that much connections. I only kind of like gravitated towards the people that were just hella chill in general. Because a lot of I went to the jazz school, and a lot of jazz cats are just always like shredding. So
Yeah.
And they kind of stay in their herd of jazz cats.
I could totally see that.
And I was just like, they're like, hey, what's up, y'all? Like, I'm from the Bay. And they're like, who are you? And I'm like, I'm me.
The Bay.
Yeah, they're like, the Bay. And I'm like, SF. They're like, you sing jazz? And I'm like, nah. And I'm like singing jazz, but I never studied it.
You're like scat singing. You're like, nah.
Nah, I mean, we were playing jazz before she even went to that school.
Yeah, I was like learning
That's sick.
standards.
Yeah, we would just
by
get the real
ear.
book, and we'd just be learning the standard. We played whole sets. We used to work at this Italian restaurant together,
Piazza Pellegrini.
Piazza Pellegrini.
What's it called?
Piazza Pellegrini.
Yo, that's close to my last name. My last name's Pellegrino.
Oh, for real? Damn,
Yeah,
bro.
Pellegrini. Where's that?
Hey, wait. Your family own the water?
Yep, loaded. No, I wish.
The Pellegrino?
Yeah.
Yo,
If my
crazy.
family owned the water, I'd have a studio we be doing these in.
Bro.
Yo.
I'd have
Crazy.
generational wealth.
Oh my
Yo.
gosh.
So many people ask me that. I had a teacher in high school ask me that, and I told her yes. So she had like this. She had this preconception of me for like the entire. I never told her otherwise. She had this
That's
preconception of me like the entire year that I was just like super rich. So I'd like walk in the class like I was the shit and act all spoiled, just to, like mess with her. And be like, I'd like bring it up
Teacher,
casually.
That's so funny. She's like that Pellegrino kid, man.
Yeah, he's going
He's something
places.
Something else.
I don't even like the water.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
Isn't
not.
there kind of like
That's a
salt in
shit.
it?
What'd you say?
Isn't there kind of like a little bit of salt in
There's
it?
sodium in it.
No, they have a soda.
sodium.
The soda's fire. I like this. I like the soda. So there's Pellegrino sodas in a
Sparkling
can.
water.
Yeah. So there's the bottles of sparkling, and then there's the cans of the soda.
The lemon, the limoncello.
Yeah,
that
the-
shit is
yeah,
good,
the
though. I like that.
limoncello.
It's kind of
Yeah.
bitter. I like that.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
but it's like just
mature.
bitter enough to be like neutral.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a mature palate.
Yeah,
So they
it's a
have, like,
mature soda.
palate. Yeah.
Yo.
I've kind of cut out the soda. That was a hard
That's
thing for me to
good.
do. Yeah,
That's
I don't
good.
really drink soda at all
It's mainly
anymore.
just sugar, bro. You gotta cut out the sugar.
Yeah, it's crap for you.
Yeah.
It makes you feel so much better when you drink things like that. Tea.
Yeah.
True.
Dude, you were
Water.
always talking about tea and drinking tea. Like, are you like into that? Like tea wise? Are you like actually interested in it?
Yeah, dude. I just feel like tea is my shit. Like it just makes me so.
I drink a lot of
calm.
tea.
Yeah, it's so good for you too. Like in photo shoots, I always have to have tea on deck.
Yeah.
In the studio, I would love to always have a kettle with like selections of. I have a tea bar in my house.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so like
Do you make your own?
I don't make my own,
Uh-huh.
but like I would hella make my own tea.
That'd be fire. It's pretty. It's just like grinding leaves and then like spices and herbs and stuff, right?
Yeah, it's just like it's really simple too.
Isn't that Larry June's thing? Isn't the thing
It
he like always drinks tea in the studio?
Yep. Shout
That's
out Larry
fire.
June.
Shout
Oh,
out
that's
Larry
probably
June.
why his voice is so like
Uncle Larry.
Silky, yeah.
No, it's because Original Todd. I know who Original Todd is.
Shout out.
For
Shout
when Larry
out.
June sees this video, Original Todd, he's his engineer. He be like, I swear he puts like a saturator on like his high end of his like his frequency spectrum of his
Uh-huh.
voice, so that when you hear that like it's like
It
hella
crack-
spicy.
yeah.
It sounds hella good, especially if you're drinking tea, like lubricate your like throat and everything.
That's super unique.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, I love it.
That's like, isn't that what vocal coaches recommend? Like drink tea.
Yeah.
It's like warm
Throat
liquid.
coat.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently like cold liquid, like I heard sometime when I used to play in like worship teams at like churches, like playing in the bands and
Uh-huh.
stuff, and all the singers would say the church singing leader, he would say, do not drink anything cold because it'll shock your vocal cords. Have you heard that?
Yeah, it's just like there's things that you do before you start singing.
Yeah,
like, you
no
don't-
milk either.
You don't eat milk. You
Yeah.
don't-
No, I've heard the
you
milk.
don't
I've heard
drink-
no dairy.
No dairy.
Yeah, because it causes like mucus in your throat, and then it,
Yeah.
you'll be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's got to be good for your performance later.
Yo, for
the tea.
real, man.
For real, yeah.
Coat in the
actually-
throat.
I
we
might
had
have to
to,
get some
like-
too.
We gotta like warm up.
I know.
Are you playing solo stuff?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my own Tito.
Oh,
my
that'll
own
be
Tito stuff.
sick, dude.
Yeah, bro.
How
Not a big
have you performed your Cheeto stuff live before, right? Or no?
No, not my, this is gonna be my first show doing
Just
my
your
own,
stuff.
just my stuff.
That's
like,
so
I'm
cool.
usually in hella bands, and I'll like play different, because I play every instrument except for like trumpet and
Mhm.
like violin and shit like that. But like I'm usually either playing bass or guitar or drums in a band, and I'm not like the singer or like the front man. So it feels good. You know
He's
what I mean?
opening the
It's-
show actually.
Yeah, I'm
That's so
opening
cool.
tonight at 8
It's gonna
o'clock.
be dope.
Openings
dude.
always seem so hard for me. Like I feel like that's a
Set the
challenge,
vibe.
dude. But I feel like you just got to bring the energy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you got to like lead it off.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting though, because like
We all have
know.
different sets.
yeah.
Oh, I'm
My
excited
set
for
is
you
gonna be
guys. I wish
more
I could
like-
come, dude.
It's all
Yeah,
good,
bro, it's
bruh.
good. There'll be a
Next
bit-
time.
there'll be a
Oh,
video,
next
right?
time for sure.
I really want to have a summer show out here or in like the fall. But yeah, it's gonna be dope.
That'd be sick. So
Yeah.
backtracking a little bit, I know you brought up Forrest and playing in bands with him and stuff.
Mhm.
You played in bands growing up. What kind of music were you
Yeah.
playing?
I mean, it goes way back, bro. Like when I was in middle school, I went to school over here. I went to Highlands Christian School, and I was playing guitar in that worship team because in like Christian schools they have like service. How in like Catholic school they have like mass
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
It's like a class
This
almost.
one is not Catholic, so it was kind of like we'd have like worship service where they would have a band play, and the band would be the kids that went to the school. So I was like the only kid that played guitar, like in the whole school basically. And I was just doing that, learned a lot from that, played in a lot of other church groups. Then I went to Soda, and I started getting in like bands, and you know, like, you know, people that are actually involved in the music scene and like the psych rock scene. There's a lot of that stuff out here. Then I met Forrest Nolan through Eli Rectipel, because I was in the classical guitar program at Soda. That, you know, that was the same school I met Brittany at. But you know, she was in world music. They were learning, you know, like the drums and stuff. I was learning like classical guitar pieces and like, you know,
whoa,
and just like studying really like a lot of dissonant pieces, like pieces that sound like basically not like bad, I guess, to people that don't know what.
Think of if you want to understand what dissonant chords are, just understand lo-fi music. Like, think of what lo-fi music. They usually use like dissonant chords, right?
Dissonance is more like it just makes you uncomfortable.
It just sounds so unpleasant.
Yeah, it's like unpleasant. If I go over the piano, if I just go on the piano,
that's like a dissonant tone. Yeah.
Dude, I just like had a flashback of like when I was in college and I was learning about dissonance and consonance. And
consonance is the opposite, correct?
Yeah, it's when shit sounds hella good.
So if you played like a C major, that's a very consonant.
Yeah,
totally. That's exactly right. Yeah.
My teacher would be like, "What is this?" And I'm like, consonant. And she'd be like, "Come on, bro." And I'm like, "Oh,
it's one of the two."
Yeah.
Isn't that like subjective at a certain point though? Like, what if you just like hate major chords?
Yeah, you could be one of those people, those kids that just make like what I was studying. Like
good.
you make like experimental, you know, progressive, classical, whatever. But you know, speaking of progressive stuff, like that's actually what the band that I was in was doing. There was a lot of dissonant stuff in there.
True.
And we were all very, you know, trained and classically trained. You know, Forrest, he is a classically trained vocalist. Like he's been in like choir group. He's goated. Like he's been in choir groups. His pitch is like perfect.
Yeah.
He's perfect pitch.
Bro, I mean, well,
or like close to
what
it.
I mean by perfect pitch is like he can sing a note like perfectly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not like, you know, a lot of people tend to waver and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, he's just goated, and he can play guitar too, and he's really talented. He produces his own shit. But Eli was another guitarist that was in the guitar program with me. He played guitar and Fowler. I played bass, and then there was another guy from the band department played the drums, Simon Clinton. And so it was just like felt like a super group of just like all these like, you know, high school dudes, and we just play shows everywhere. We played Bottom of the Hill.
Oh, cool.
We played did some backyard shows stuff a lot. We did, you know, bro, R.I.P. the Honey Hive.
I know the Honey Hive went under, man.
We played the Honey Hive.
R.I.P. Slims too.
We didn't play Slims, but I actually worked at
Rest in
Slims.
peace. You worked at Slims?
Yes,
well,
sir.
Slims is gone, right?
It's gone, but I worked there for about 2-3 years.
Whoa,
Yeah,
what?
I did security there. I did security at Slims and Great American Music Hall in the
Whoa.
for about 2 or 3 years, and then
That's got to be an active place to do security.
You said what?
I said that's got to be an active place to do security.
I mean,
or Great
not
American
really.
is.
No,
Really? No?
bro, you'd be surprised. Like it was Great American's way more chill than Slims.
Really?
Bro, Slims.
See, I would think the opposite.
Yeah, I know, right? No, but bro, Great American was really way more safe than Slims. Slims is more dangerous.
I never went to Slims. Slims is more of a like it's a venue, but it's
like a club.
It's like a club, right? Whereas like Great American, where I've been, it's just a venue. It's just a venue.
Well, I think they're all clubs.
Is it? I don't know.
What makes a club?
Well, I guess I think of a club as like, you know, like outside of shows, you have like DJs come play, and maybe you're just doing like a DJ night, and you have like you're making your money off drinks. Whereas like a venue is like you have bands come play, and it's like it's about the music and the stage in the front, opposed to like the bar being or whatever.
Okay. No, I think Slims was a venue, bro.
You think so?
Like,
I never went to Slims.
I saw Blueface perform there.
Oh, that's sick.
You know, I got him for free because I worked there. It's like I saw hella people at Slims, bro. It's such a shame. That shit has been there for a long time too.
Honey Hive too. That's terrible.
I just figured out that the Honey Hive went under. I didn't even know because like
when I was like hitting up venues, I was like, I hella want to perform at the Honey Hive. I was like, I hella want to. I wanted an intimate.
It's so like, sad, yeah.
I know, and I was like, I looked on their IG. It was like, nope, we're not here anymore. I'm like, damn.
That's what they said. So we're not here anymore. That's so sad.
Like closed, and I was like, damn.
COVID, man. COVID screwed over so many venues. That's so sad. Dude.
I'm glad that a lot of them came back up though.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Gamma's still.
Great American
Still
came
up
back
there.
up.
There were a lot of like donations to a lot, like a
Yeah.
lot. There were a lot of people donating and putting a lot of money into
Save
it,
the
which was
Stages.
really, yeah. Save the Stages was so awesome. Like there was like, I know like Gilman was talking about almost going under. Like Great American
Right.
was talking
Oh
about almost
my
going under.
gosh.
Bottom was talking about almost
Everybody.
going under.
Bro,
It was like,
Gilman.
imagine
Green
how.
Day was playing there, bro.
Oh
Gilman,
yeah,
like,
dude.
It's crazy, bro.
That's like
That's
over
the
in
most.
Berkeley.
That's the most historic venue in the Bay Area.
Most
It's
historic.
it's like it was the epicenter of East Bay punk music. That's like
Bro,
where it came from.
Yes, all of that. You know what I mean? Like the East Bay punk is way different than a lot of the punk at that time too.
Mhm.
When it was coming up. There's a lot of documentaries about it. It's
You
pretty
seen
interesting.
Turn Around?
I think so. Yeah.
Fantastic documentary.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's just a lot of documentaries on Gilman.
hmm
Yeah, a lot of like the Green Day documentaries too, because I love Green Day. They're
What's
like,
so interesting about Green Day too, in at least in that Gilman scene, is they were so different from the other
yeah, 'cause
bands.
they
If
were
you,
pop as
yeah,
fuck.
super pop. That was like why they like
That's why they
couldn't
got
play.
banned.
Yeah, that was why they couldn't play at Gilman when they first started
because
because it
they
was.
had hella good melodies.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine?
Because Billy Joel's just like super melodic singer.
I know he's been trained since he was a child.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Isn't that crazy?
Like as a singer, as a performer, like when you see him live, he's like, no.
It's always the cuttiest people.
Oh yeah,
It's just like
You would never expect because he's so like he seems like very punk and but
yeah, and
bro,
aesthetic.
He's like
illusion.
classically not
Aesthetic.
classically, but he's like a
Musical
musical theater
theater.
trained kind of like
a lot of like guys who end up that way, I think it's because there's somewhat of a revolt against the classically trained idea. You know what I mean? It's like you still want to be yourself.
That's
Mm.
interesting. I can
Yeah.
hella see that.
I mean, yeah, same with like My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, Gerard Way is
I
super trained.
love My Chemical Romance.
Me
bro.
too.
That's
bro.
his shit.
That's my shit.
Specifically, the Black Parade front to
Oh, okay.
back.
Yeah,
That album is, oh my god.
that one's more theater. I feel like
It's-
that one's
dude,
definitely more theater. My favorite
I
is
think it's
Three Cheers.
Three
though.
Cheers for
Because
Revenge.
That's more punk.
Yeah, it's far more
Way
punk.
more punk. I love Three Cheers so
Gerard
much.
Way is such a good singer, dude.
Bro, we were talking about that. His like
He's a ridiculous singer.
yeah. I showed Brittany
I
My Chemical Romance
never
recently.
listened to punk at all.
Really?
Yeah. And he was in New York and he made me watch a My Chemical Romance documentary. You were just in
Whoa, there's an MCR documentary?
It's called Life on the Murder Scene.
I'm gonna watch
It's
it.
so lit.
I was like, damn, like this is what
Mm-hmm.
punk was.
Yeah, I
That-
mean they're
that
like
Pop
era.
punk, like pop punk of our era, yeah.
pop punk. Real punk is like Black Flag. and,
Very
like,
different, yeah.
It's very different.
Suicidal
Very grimy,
tendencies,
yeah,
like, yeah.
very grimy.
That was like the door for me. It was like
Yeah.
My Chemical Romance, and I was like,
Wow,
oh shit, like
that's a good door to go through, though.
But they're good pop punk. They're not like
They are the pinnacle of pop punk.
yeah, like I like
Yeah.
that shit.
I think the Black Parade front to back is the best pop punk album ever made. I don't even think it's close.
I'd
And
agree with you.
you know what I think of? I think of it as like the pop punk version of like Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, bro,
It's-
it was opera.
it's
like a
very
rock
operatic.
opera. Yeah,
There's a lot, dude. I talk about
The
Queen
theater.
all the time because I think
Yes.
there's like so few bands that
Yeah.
like really like were. I mean, I think there's tons of bands that were influenced by Queen, but there's so few that like you can hear that influence because Queen's so specific. But when I think about like bands that were influenced by Queen, I think of one MCR because they have that operatic kind of
Yeah.
element to their music, and then I also think of Fun.
Whoa,
Fun has a very
interesting.
Fun has always sounded to me like a pop version of Queen,
Wow, you're right, dude.
right?
I'm trying to think of a song.
No, they had that one
Some
song
nights.
that was like, "Give me a second, I
Need to get my
Oh.
stuff. That album, oh, I love that project, dude. Front to back.
They're punk pop.
No, they're just like pop.
Oh, there's
they're just
pop.
straight
Oh,
pop.
just influenced by
Queen.
By Queen, yeah, because
But
I
the
think
thing
like
is,
'cause they're
with
very
Queen,
operatic and like theatrical in their music.
I just listened to Queen actually like a year ago for the first time.
Really, what'd you think?
I was like, whoa, like Freddie was
Dude.
on some other shit.
Other
Yeah.
shit.
As a vocalist,
As a vocalist, as a performer.
oh my god, dude.
The pole, he would like take the thing out of the stand and just have the pole and like hold it upside down on his mic stand.
He just like didn't care.
He had to walk so Travis Scott could run with the pole,
Yeah, no, yeah, literally. Damn, full circle.
dude. Yeah, but have you seen the Queen biopic?
Yeah,
What'd you think of it?
it was great.
I liked it.
I just love music movies like that.
Me
you
too.
know,
I wanna
anything-
watch
even
more.
if it's cheesy, I just love it because I just love music documentaries. I watched the Miles Davis documentary constantly.
I've been meaning to watch that.
It's so good, bro. I just love it. I just love Miles Davis. I love Chet Baker. I love just jazz in general.
Just
like
old cats.
Bill Evans, especially.
Yeah.
If there was There is one little documentary about Bill Evans, but
Really?
there's a little one. It's tiny. It's like by his brother type shit.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but his brother's like a professor, and he's like, I'm bringing in
You have
my
an
brother.
ant on you.
I felt one. That's why I kept looking.
Shout out Ant.
Shout out Ant.
That was like the Kanye documentary was made, right? Just the dude who followed him around for like years,
Yeah,
right?
Cootie. Yeah.
Yeah. I watched the first
And that was
episode
the
of
moment
it.
me and Kanye both knew our lives were about to change.
Why are you so good at that?
Bro, because there's hella TikToks about it.
Is there?
They're like, everybody's making fun of Cootie.
That was the moment.
And that was the
Kanye.
moment me and Kanye.
I love that shit. I
be
want to
like
do some
hella
shit like
close
that.
to
That's so spot on.
Me and Kanye.
Kanye.
You don't say it like
the way
that.
they say his name is way different than like
It's
what the media says.
I say Kanye, but Cootie puts like an emphasis on the
Kanye.
yay. He goes
Kanye.
So does his
Kanye.
mom.
And his mom too.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Donda. Yeah.
R.I.P. Donda.
She would
Shit's
always
lit.
say like Kanye.
I mean, she knows best.
Yeah, 'cause
she named him
that's
that.
where, yeah.
True.
Have you guys ever heard the name Kanye outside of Kanye West? I never have.
No. That was like the first time.
That was the first time ever.
I wonder the history of that name, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because I've never heard it like as a traditional name.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think I could be wrong, but I thought she got it from like an Ethiopian king or something.
I don't
like
know.
that. I don't know.
It's something along
Like
those
Zan's
lines.
name.
Something kind of like that. Yeah, but Zan's name's crazy.
Yeah,
I
that.
remember in that part of that interview, he was talking about like, how he got his name. People always think his name is like Zan and cannabis, but it's not. It's
Yeah.
Zanubis, you know what I mean? Because Nubis was like the afterlife.
I think
love
about
that.
him saying that all the time. I think that's genius.
Legendary.
I love people's like how their stage names come about. To be honest, I love
How
that
did
shit.
you? Why'd you go by Saint?
My last name is Saint in Spanish, and it's Santo.
Oh.
And then it's so funny. Like in high school, they used like Young Brit or like Saint B. And then
I like Saint B.
yeah, that was just like my high school.
That was an era.
Yeah, it was an era
We have some songs like
under Saint B.
on private on SoundCloud.
Oh, I gotta
It's
hear
like-
those.
Yo,
I'll
those
show
are
you
so
later.
funny. But then I kind of just I felt like Saint is just more of like a professional. Like I tell people that my name is like some people don't know my real name, and they're just like they just know me as Saint. Like especially in New York, a lot of people don't know my real
That's
name.
definitely a real name too. Like Saint. There's gotta be. That isn't Kanye's daughter named Saint
Or his
Yeah.
son.
Or-
Isn't that his
or
son?
son? Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's real branding shit, like one syllable.
yeah,
Like
Saint.
yeah. I
Drake.
feel like
Saint.
I want to
Yay.
change
Yeah.
my name like way down the line to my real name. It's just gonna be Brittany. Ooh, you have
be
it on
hard.
camera.
Uh,
That's my
No
real
last
name.
name.
you're gonna come back to this in 5 years, and she's gonna be Brittany, not Saint.
That'd be hard.
Damn, that's so like
Saint Brittany.
it's crazy.
Yo, Saint Brittany's hard.
Yo,
That would be hard.
all the records. Damn.
You'd be like royalty.
Saint Brittany on the track. Hey
Be
Tito.
It used to be like Saint B. I used to say that all the time. Be like Saint B, and I'm just
We used to be hella lit. doing that
so
shit.
lit on a Shure mic.
On the Shure mic.
The sure
bro.
the SM58.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Into an audio box USB.
I love the
Interface.
weight of that mic.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I love how like it fits in your hand.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean that's the classic. It's the standard. It's for live though. It's mainly for like live.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
we have a couple because we've been shooting some live sessions. We're trying to get like more into that. If you guys want to do a live session, let me know. We'll shoot one.
What do you mean live?
Just a
Like-
live session, a recorded live session.
Oh, like you're streaming it or something?
No. So
like you're recording.
we record a performance and engineer a
that's what you mean.
performance and then put it out.
Okay.
Not like a show, but like a private performance.
Got
so like
it.
I'd be here
Like
and I'd
how
shoot
radio
you guys.
stations do that. How they have,
Exactly,
like, a
exactly.
controlled
Damn.
environment.
Think of
wish-
Triple J.
Yeah,
I wish we could
Radiohead
show
did that
you,
shit all the time. Yeah.
mood swings, but damn, I don't think we
Yeah.
have time.
Dude, next time let's do one.
Dude, I got you.
When are you back out here?
I'm aiming for fall, but I mean I'll fly out here if it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? If
I'll make the New York trip.
oh yeah, I'm out there, bro.
Dude, I'd love to go to New York. I've never been. Or no, I went when I was a kid, but
Mm.
It's dope as an adult,
yeah, I bet it's way different.
especially when you're like an artist. You really feel like the energy of the city. To be honest, like
I
you
bet.
feel it. Yeah,
Yeah. Go to the jazz clubs when you're there. Go to
Oh hell
Smalls.
yeah.
yeah,
Smalls and all that.
Historic,
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
yeah. That shit's crazy, bro.
That's a history lesson.
That's all I did when I was there. Just like jazz clubs.
That's so sick,
I did
dude.
not want to go anywhere else.
I want to. I'm 20. I'm not even 21. So when I turn 21, I'm trying to go to all the jazz clubs in the city. There's one on Haight Street. Whenever I walk by it, I'm like,
Black
this.
Cat?
I think that's what it's called. Yeah.
We've been there.
Whenever
I
I.
know the owner,
Oh, really? That's cool.
Fritz.
Shout out Fritz.
Yeah.
On the hate?
I don't think it's in the Hate though. I think it's in the TO.
Maybe I think it's something else.
Yeah, there's
Maybe.
a Black Cat in the TL.
There's one at Hate, I think.
Oh, I think there's two locations. He opened he like closed the other one.
What?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, dude. I mean,
damn.
Come on.
But I like walk by it and I'm always like, damn, I want to go listen to some jazz. It always sounds so sick.
It's always such a vibe to go into a jazz club.
Oh, I bet, dude.
I feel at peace when I'm in a jazz club, to be honest.
We were in Germany together and we went to this club called The Hat in Berlin.
Yeah, Berlin.
And we'd be smoking cigars inside.
That's a vibe.
I was on the couch.
Yeah. She got up and sang. She sang Girl from Ipanema.
No way.
Yeah, it was a vibe.
That's so sick.
Pre-pandemic shit, like 2018.
Yeah, pre-pandemic.
And you guys have been friends forever.
Yeah. We've been knowing each other long after.
That's sick. Last thing I want to ask you. So I wish we had more hours, but unfortunately we don't. Both of you guys, as artists, like if you had one message you wanted to spread, like what do you think it would be? Like one thing you could have your music translate into other people's minds.
Take it away.
Probably just, accepting vulnerability and be able to find power in vulnerability.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's just like with my music specifically, I feel like I'm just here to heal people. I'm just here to like share my story because I'm just a person at the end of the day. And I feel like people relate to people because they've been through something similar. And I feel like all my records from this point on, even from last year, it's always just going to be super real, super like, it doesn't have to be always vulnerable, but it's always going to have an underlying message of like, do you
heal people who need to be healed?
Yeah, dude.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, man. It's chill.
Dude, it was great talking to you guys. Like, I loved this conversation. I thought it was really cool.
Thank you for coming out, bro.
Of course, bro. We got to do this again. Literally, whenever.
I got you.
Yeah, tell them where to find your music, where they can stream your stuff. You got anything coming up, where they can see you tonight?
Fire. We have a show, Amato's SF, 8 p.m. Doors open at 7:30. You can find me on Spotify with $, AINT under Saint. And my IG is Ayo with 2 O's. I'm Saint. So, yeah.
Right. And you can find me on Spotify, Tito Bandito, one word, TITO BANDITO. Tito Bandito, one word, all caps.
Hey,
on
Tito.
Instagram is literally Aitito, AYETITOOO. My TikTok, same thing, AYETITOOO. Aitito.
Damn, bro.
1, 2, 3 O's.
We're
exactly.
out here.
All right, guys. Appreciate you. For real. Thank you so much.
You, bro.
Thank you,
All
bro.
right. Music matters.
Thank you.